Course creators are making the same mistakes over and over again, mistakes that are costing them sales, wasting their time, and holding them back from the impact they could be having. After coaching hundreds of course creators and making plenty of these mistakes myself, I've seen firsthand where people go wrong. And the good news is most of these mistakes are completely avoidable. So today we're going over the top 8 biggest mistakes course creators make, ranked in order of severity. Each one is more critical than the last. So make sure you stick around until the end to avoid the biggest mistake of them all. You're listening to the Online Course Show, where we dive deep into the strategies and tools that help online course creators build thriving businesses. I'm Jacques Hopkins, and over the past 12 years, I've built a successful online course business teaching piano that's brought in over $4 million, and I'm here to share the lessons I've learned along the way. Now, most of you know by this point my story. I started my piano course 12 years ago and made so many mistakes. It was so far from an overnight success. I made just about every mistake you can think of. Some cost me time, some cost me money, and some nearly made me give up entirely. But instead of quitting, I attacked the mistakes, I learned from them, and I kept going. The problem is most people don't push through. When things aren't going well, they assume it's because they're not cut out for it or they picked the wrong path. But in reality, most failures come from a handful of avoidable mistakes. So today I want to get out in front of those mistakes for you, whether you're just starting out or already in the trenches. This episode will help you avoid these pitfalls or fix them if you're right in the middle of them right now. So let's go ahead and jump into it, starting with number 8, letting imposter syndrome hold you back. A lot of people hesitate to create a course or a course business because they don't feel like an expert, like a true expert in their niche. They think they might need a PhD or decades of experience or some kind of official credential before they can teach others. But the truth is, you don't need to be the world's leading expert. You just need to be a few steps ahead of your students. If you've solved a problem that others are struggling with, you can teach it. What matters most is getting your students results, not proving your credentials. If you can guide them to the outcome that they want, they won't care about your degrees or your certifications. They just need to trust that you're the right person to help get them there. My story is a perfect example of this. I wasn't a piano teacher when I started piano in 21 days. I literally hadn't taught anyone how to learn piano before. Now, I'm not saying you should go into something completely blind. It does help if you've already gotten people results before launching a course. But the key is that I found an approach that worked. I refined it, I tested it, and eventually I built a method that could actually teach people piano and quickly. So don't let imposter syndrome stop you from getting started. Your students don't need you to be perfect. They just need someone who can take them from where they are to where they want to be. Next, we have undervaluing your course and pricing it too low. Many first-time course creators assume that pricing their course low will lead to more sales, but that's not how it works typically. When a course is too cheap, people don't take it seriously. They're less likely to complete it, they're less likely to get results, and less likely to recommend it to others. Instead of pricing based on fear, price based on value. Your course should reflect the transformation it provides. If it helps someone achieve a real, meaningful outcome, it should be priced accordingly. Now, that doesn't mean you should just slap on a high price tag without thinking. Do your research, look at other courses in your niche, and aim to be like in the top 10% in terms of pricing. The reason is because when people pay, they pay attention. Pricing on the higher side isn't just about making more money, it's about increasing commitment and getting students better results. You can truly serve your students better by pricing a little bit higher. Your course has value, and I want you to price it like it does. Number 6, ignoring student engagement and support. Creating your course is just one step, but if you don't have a plan to keep students engaged, answer their questions, and help them stay motivated, many of them will drop off. And here's the thing, if your students don't complete your course, they won't get the results. And no results means no testimonials, no word of mouth, and no long-term success. Luckily, keeping students engaged doesn't have to be complicated. Simple things like a private community, live Q&A calls, or automated check-in emails can make a huge difference in helping students stay on track. But I get it, many course creators are drawn to the idea of this whole thing because of the idea of this passive income. But long-term success comes from maximizing the success that your students have. The more successful they are, the stronger your reputation, the more referrals you get, and the more your business grows. And here's the good news. Engagement doesn't have to mean more work forever. If you listen to student feedback and refine your course over time, you'll naturally reduce support requests. I'm on the 6th version of my piano course, and the amount of support we have to provide compared to version 1 or really any of the other versions is dramatically lower. Every time we found a common question or sticking point, we made updates to the course to fill in the gaps. And if you don't want to personally handle student support, you can outsource it. The best approach is hiring within your audience, or even better, a paying customer. They already believe in your course and the transformation you offer, which makes them more effective at supporting your students. So the bottom line is student success fuels course success. Keep them engaged and your business will thrive. Next up is trying to do everything yourself. Creating a course involves a lot: content creation, video production, marketing, tech setup, and plenty more. And if you try to handle every single piece of it yourself, you'll likely burn out. You don't need to build a big team, but you do need to recognize where you can get help. If video editing isn't your strength, outsource it. If graphic design isn't your thing, find someone who can do it better and faster than you. The quality of your course and your own energy will be much better for it. Now, I get it. When you're just starting out, your budget might be pretty tight, but you'd be surprised at the level of talent available at all price points. There are incredible freelancers who can take work off your plate without breaking the bank. My go-to resource for outsourcing is Upwork.com. You can find specialists for just about anything there. For example, I hired someone on Upwork to design the thumbnail for this very episode for just $5. Know where your time is best spent, focus on what you do best, get help with the rest, and you'll scale much faster without burning out. Number 4 is overloading the course with information instead of focusing on outcomes. One of the biggest mistakes I see course creators make is just packing their course with way too much information. It's too long. They think if I give my students everything I know, they'll see the value. But instead, this usually overwhelms students and lowers completion rates. The truth is that students don't buy courses for the information. They buy them for the results. If they just wanted knowledge, they could watch YouTube videos or read blog posts for free. What they really want is a structured, clear path to achieving transformation. If your course feels like this brain dump rather than a step-by-step journey, students will get lost, they'll disengage, and never finish. And if they don't finish, they won't get results, meaning no testimonials, no referrals, and a harder time selling your course in the future. So here's how to avoid this mistake. Keep your course as short as possible while still delivering the outcome. Cut anything that isn't directly leading students toward success. Frame your content around the transformation and not just the topic. So for example, instead of teaching photography basics, make it help beginners take stunning photos in 30 days. Follow a clear, structured progression. Make sure each lesson builds on the last so students aren't jumping all over the place. When designing your course, always ask yourself, does this help my student get to the finish line faster or easier? And if the answer is no, cut it. Next, we have perfectionism and not launching. This one is a big problem for me and so many others out there. This mistake might be the biggest time waster of them all. Waiting too long to launch because everything is just not perfect yet. So I see this all the time. Like I said, course creators spend months, sometimes even years, tweaking their videos, refining their slides, and re-recording their lessons. But you have to know that your course will never ever be perfect, no matter how long you've been doing this, no matter how many versions you've made. And more importantly, you don't even know what perfect looks like until real students go through it and give you feedback. The biggest thing that helped me with shifting this mindset was instead of thinking of my course as just this finished product, I started thinking of it as an evolving system. My first version was far from perfect, but I launched it, I got feedback, it did provide results, and I improved it over time. I want to give you permission to launch before you feel like you're ready. Get your course out there, even if it's not perfect. Start with a minimum viable course. It doesn't have to be fully built. Start with a beta version or even a live round and embrace continuous improvement. Your first students will tell you what falls short so you can refine and make it better. The longer you wait, the more opportunity you miss. Get it out there and improve as you go. All right, number 2 is not building an audience or marketing before launching. Many course creators believe that if they create an incredible course, people will naturally find it and buy it, but that's simply not how it works. Even the best course won't sell if nobody knows it exists. I see this all the time. People spend months perfecting their course, but when they launch, it's just crickets. No audience, no traffic, no sales. So how do you avoid this? Well, start by marketing before your course is ready. Share valuable content on YouTube, a podcast, social media to attract your ideal students. Build an email list. Create a free resource or lead magnet so people can sign up and stay connected with you. Talk about the problem your course solves. Get people thinking about the result they want before you ever pitch them your offer. And have a marketing plan. Don't just launch and hope for the best. Plan your emails, your content, and promotional strategy in advance. Your audience is your biggest asset. The bigger and more engaged it is, the easier it will be to sell your course. And here we go. Number one, the top mistake, not validating your course idea. This is the biggest mistake of all, spending months creating a course that nobody wants. And the reason this is the biggest mistake is because it's just so much time wasted and so demoralizing for you at that point for all the work you've put in. A lot of course creators assume that just because they're passionate about a topic, other people will pay to learn about it. But passion alone isn't enough. There has to be real demand. And here's what usually happens. Someone will spend months or, like I said, sometimes years building a course, and then they launch it, no sales, no interest, and they get frustrated and give up thinking their course business won't work. But the problem isn't the course, it's that they never validated the idea in the first place. If there's no real demand or painful problem being solved, even the best course in the world won't sell. So how do you validate your course before you waste time creating something no one wants? Well, there's a few ways. First, look for existing competition. If other people are selling similar courses, that is a good sign. It means there's demand. Next, you can talk to your audience. This is really important. Ask them what they're struggling with and what they would pay to learn. Ask them what they would like to see inside of a course if you were to make it. 3 is you could run a pre-sale. Sell the course before you create it. If people buy, you know it's worth making. And 4th, this is probably my favorite, is you can test it with a live boot camp. You can run a live version of your curriculum to see if people actually get results. Like I said, that last option is my favorite. I've done them in both of my businesses, and many of my clients end up doing it as well. Overall, validating your idea is the single most important thing you can do. Do this and you'll save yourself months of frustration and wasted effort. All right, so that is my list. That is the 8 biggest mistakes I see course creators making and how you can avoid them. But here's the thing, knowing what not to do is just one piece of the puzzle. If you want to build a wildly successful online course business, you need a proven roadmap, something that shows you exactly what to do next, so you're not guessing your way through the process. That's why I put together a free training called the Online Course Business Formula. It's a fairly short 35-minute training, but it is completely action-packed. We go over the best traffic strategies, how to put together your course, how funnels work, and so much more. So if you're serious about growing your course business, go watch the free workshop now at oc.show/workshop. Again, that's oc.show/workshop, and I will see you over there. Thanks so much out there for listening to another episode of the Online Course Show. Don't forget to take action on what you've heard here today. I'm rooting for you.